Hello and welcome back to the Eurovoxx Podcast, the place where we will be discussing all things Eurovision coming up after a very exciting and very long, as always, with a certain country, Super Saturday. We will be discussing Italy, Finland and Latvia. But first, let me introduce our guest for this episode. He is a newbie to the podcast, but of course, not new to Vox itself. He is still going through the process of recovering from SANREMO Sleepwise last week. And he, fun fact, actually appeared at the Eurovision 2023 final on camera after Marco Magnoni because he had a massive Italian flag. I can only be talking about Samuele. How are you, Samuele?
I am good. How are you, Harry? Everything is fine?
Everything is fine. Yes, everything is going very well. It's going
Yeah,
fine for different reasons, or for many reasons, as we will
yeah.
get on to today.
We are gonna see why you're so happy. I think that also the Eurovoxx community just saw the reaction that you
Well,
did.
we'll come on to that. We'll come on for those who
So
haven't.
yeah, I am actually
But
really good. I am happy about this super final, super Saturday in general. Also for my country, of course. And yeah, fun fact: I had fever during Super Saturday, so I'm still recovering both from fever and Sanremo week. I think that the fever and my general health situation was actually caused by the medium 3 hours sleep that I had this week. So I would say
that
that
does make sense.
yeah, I am gonna try to have a week of just sleeping, I would say, or at least recovering from the week that we just had.
Yes, of course. For those who were joining us obviously for the Sanremo live, of course, you did notice Samuele was not here because he was sadly ill. I stepped in as host, and I think I carried the Italian spirit with
Yes, you
my
did.
with hosting. But we'll get on to Italy. We will get on to Italy. But first, let us start with three questions. We always ask our guests three questions to kick things off. So first, Samuele. I feel like I maybe spoiled it in the joke I said, but actually it might be a different answer. What is your favorite Eurovision moment in person?
Do you mean when I was there?
When you were there, yes, in the city.
So I lived the Eurovision Song Contest just from Turin 2022. So that was my first year living the Eurovision Song Contest in the host city. And in Turin, I had the pleasure to stay there like for 5 days. So it was a longer experience, not such as the Eurovoxx team there. That they usually stay for more than 2 weeks in the host city. But for me, it's just like I don't have much time to go on the host city a lot time before. If I have to recall a moment about the Eurovision in general, when I was in a host city, it would probably be actually, I think, when we were Stuart and I. Stuart is a former Eurovoxx member. Of course, I think you all know him.
We all know
We
Stuart,
were
friend
yeah,
of the show, of course.
friend, of course. And we were in Turin, and we were passing by the Mole Antonelliana. That it was this really big, I don't know, like tower in Turin, really historic tower that was formerly a synagogue. So, fun fact, like about Turin. And we were passing in front of Turin, and it was this song during the Eurovision 2022 preseason about a local indie band. This local indie band did a song about of course, half in English, half in Italian, explaining Turin to the visitors of the Eurovision Song Contest. And in this particular song, they said, "Where is the mole? Dov'è la mole?" No. So we were passing in front of this of the mole, and Stuart actually asked me, "Where is the mole?" And I could not remember the song in that moment. I did not remember that song. So I was like, "Stuart is right in front of your eyes. How can you not see it?" And and we were like, Stuart, look at me, and we have actually a video. I think in the Eurovoxx.
I've seen the video. Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
come on to that.
exactly.
I've seen the video.
We have a video in which I actually say, "No, it's there," and he said, and he started to sing the song, and in that moment I recalled it. So this was particularly my favorite moment of Eurovision in these last 2 years. But if I have to be objective, not to be, more professional, I would say leaving the Eurovision Song Contest 2023 from first row, because I was in first row at the final. And of course, also the moment in which I appeared on television in Eurovision. with my giant Italian flag and screaming after Marco's performance.
I remember watching it in the village. Dylan was with me, and I just went to him, "That's Samuele! He's on the screen."
Yes,
So,
yes.
speaking of 2023, the second question, I think a fairly simple one, but one that can have a variety of answers. So, Samuele, what was your favorite Eurovision entry in 2023?
Of course, I cannot say Italy because I would not be objective. I would be extremely subjective, even if I love the song, and you already know from my reactions last year. I
Of course.
think that we were represented really well as well. We were represented by Marco in a way that we were not represented before. I think even with Maneskin, I think the content with Maneskin was beautiful also before in the rehearsals and the period before Eurovision. But with Marco, we had really a good representative, I would say. If I have to choose another, of course, act that is in my playlist and I love, well, last year, because I don't want to say Sweden, of course, it was beautiful, it was perfect. Also, if I have to choose, probably go with, oh my god, it's really difficult. I didn't think about it. I would probably go with Czechia.
A very nice
Yes.
entry. Very good.
Yes.
And then for our final question, we always ask our previous guests to bring in a question. So this one comes from Dylan, actually, who we just mentioned, who was on the show last time. So Samuele, who is your favorite to win this year that has never won before? So either you can take that either way. You can either go what country you want to win, or based on information we currently have, who do you think is most likely to win that hasn't won before?
Such a good question, actually. Right off the bat, I would say that I would like Armenia to win.
Yeah.
But I saw a little bit of the information regarding the artist, and I think she's a really pop artist, so really banger artist, and I don't know what I expect about that. If I have to say a country, I would say Armenia, because we saw how much effort they put in organizing Yerevan 2022 was
23? Yeah, I believe. No, 2022. Yeah.
2022, yes. And yeah, from the information that we have now, I would say Armenia is a country. But if I have to say an artist, if I have to say an artist, I would go more with, for example, I really don't know about an artist. I would say Dance is a really beautiful song, but Latvia already won, I think.
Latvia
No?
already won. Shall we say
Yeah.
Armenia? Armenia is the one you want. That's
Yeah, Armenia or even Lithuania, I think.
good choice. Yeah, because they've obviously got their artists out, and we will even be covering Lithuania, I believe, next week because they are revealing their song.
Yes.
And now we kick things off with the countries that revealed their entries on Super Saturday. We call every Saturday Super Saturday. Every country or weekend, that involves countries revealing artists, it's always super. But we kick things off with probably the reason why we've got our guest on the show this week. It is definitely the reason why you're on this week, Samuele.
Yeah,
it is Italy, and they have revealed, SANREMO has concluded, and the artist that has won SANREMO and has since confirmed that they will represent Italy at Eurovision 2024 is Angelina Mango with the song La Noia. So that was Angelina Mango with the song La Noia, Italy's representative for Eurovision 2024. Angelina Mango is only 22 years old from Maratea, Basilicata, Italy. Sorry, Samuele, if I've butchered that. I've tried my best.
It was quite good. Maratea in Basilicata. Yes.
Thank you very much. And also, Samuele, you can help me out here with some participation. For the first time since 2014, the winner of SANREMO is what gender, Samuele?
Female.
Female! Yes, it's female. You can tell I had that joke planned. So, yes, for the first time, the winner of SANREMO is a female. Obviously, it's not the first time since 2014 that Italy have sent a female. They did send one in 2016, but Francesca did not win SANREMO. So, that aside, we've got that joke, we've got that history thing out the way early. What? Obviously, people that watch the SANREMO live, they will not know your thoughts about this entry necessarily because you were ill on the final. So, even just for them or for people on the podcast, big pressure, obviously, pleasing the Italian fans, you in particular, because you've got such a strong record at the contest. So the bar is high. With that being in that mind, what is your thoughts about Angelina Mango being your representative for MALMÖ?
I am actually speechless. I could not be more happy because we are bringing Mediterranean vibes to Eurovision with a female act, something that if you told me last year, I would not have believed it. So I'm really happy. I think that we have a really good song, really high quality as always, I would say. And of course, produced by the genius of Dardust and written by the genius of Madame. We have a composing team behind the song that is incredible. We have a really good head of delegation. This year is the same from 2022 when we switched from our previous head of delegation. That, of course, went on to produce the Eurovision in 2022. But we have a new head of delegation that is doing brilliantly, I would say, in the last 2 years. We have a marvelous manager behind Angelina. For those that do not know, Marta Donà is the manager of Angelina and is the manager of Marco Mengoni as well. And of course, was at the time they competed in Eurovision, the manager of Måneskin.
So they've got a good track record, this manager.
She went to Eurovision. She's going to Eurovision for the third time in 4 years. So I'm really, really, really happy that we have that woman, that manager, because she knows how to represent an artist, and apparently she knows how to coordinate a proper staging for Eurovision, because with her, we saw the best stagings Italy did in the last 10 years, I would say. So yeah, I'm really happy. The song is a banger. She has charisma. Angelina knows how to sing. Angelina knows how to move on stage. I am envisioning already a kind of a Mediterranean vibe stage in Eurovision with warm colors, representing the south of Italy as well, because Angelina is from the south. The sounds are from the south, really Mediterranean, but also really, kind of Latin as well. Really taking from that Spanish or almost tradition that enriched the culture of the south of Italy for many centuries. I'm really happy. We had a really strong SANREMO this year. I think that out of 30 songs, I disliked only 3 or 4, and I loved at least 5 or 6, adored 5 or 6 songs from this SANREMO. I would probably say that at least 3 or 4 songs were perfect for Eurovision. So yeah, I could not be more happy. And also, I think that Italians love the show because in terms of audience and share, this was one of the most followed editions since 1995. So
wow, that is incredible.
Really, really, really good show. And we have to thank our awesome artistic director, that is of course Amadeus. It was
the legend himself who can now rest himself.
Apparently he said that this is his last Sanremo, but many in Italy think that Rai will actually try to convince him again for next year at least. But yeah, even if it's this year or last year, he will probably have to step down in the future. And Rai should actually decide on the future of the contest and the future of Sanremo. We have a lot of new also and charismatic presenters that have also knowledge in the music field. So I think we are in good hands. But most of all, we are in good hands because Italy's music scene and industry is as strongest than ever. I think that the last time we had such a diverse and strong music scene was at least in the 90s or in the 80s. So, and we are recognized now, of of course, also with the results of the streams of SANREMO, we are also recognized in Europe. So, for example, I'm thinking about Mahmoud, I'm thinking about Angelina, I'm thinking about Annalisa, that have really, really, really good songs, and they are actually in the Spotify charts and iTunes chart of half of Europe.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I couldn't add any more praise to Sanremo and like the entire Italian music scene. It's a very good analysis of not only the entry but also the scene itself. I think for me, when it comes to this entry, I could explain my thoughts on this song, or I could give you and the rest of the listeners a very quick headphone warning and simply play the following. Yes! 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 Come on!
She won?
I'm guessing so.
I have such a delay. Did she won?
Angelina what?
Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. I will try it for the listeners at home. I will try and turn the volume down on that. I'm sure you've seen that clip going around Instagram and all sorts there. The funny thing was about that clip was when I was doing the live was obviously, as you can tell, I was a nervous wreck beforehand because I really wanted this song to win. And I remember there was someone in the comments called, I think it was either SL or SG, who's clearly their stream was ahead of mine. And he put in the comments, like all caps, yes. And in my head, I'm going, okay, unless you're from Naples, that can only mean one thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, has she actually done it?
Yes, because the stream in Italy, actually, from the TV, it's a little bit before.
Well, I think they're actually from Germany, so I don't know what stream they were on.
But, really?
Yeah. Well, they mentioned later in the stream they're from Germany. But yeah, I've loved the reaction to that stream. My reaction.
Were you watching from RightPlay?
Yeah, it'll be the link that's on Eurovision.
Yeah, from RightPlay. So yeah, usually RightPlay is like 20 seconds behind.
That would add up. But that's fine. I mean, the comments on that were fantastic. I will say there was one comment on the Sanremo live that was like, "Nice feet, Harry." I'm like, okay, why is there someone having to make it weird? Why? I know I should have worn socks, but come on, I didn't. That was a spontaneous moment. Anyway, on to I will actually speak on the song now, because that reaction was a build-up of me listening to La Noia non-stop from the second it got released on Tuesday night / Wednesday morning on Spotify. I love this song to pieces. I love this performance to pieces. This, for me, in terms of a slightly bop-ish style song, perfect. It has everything I want in a song. It has the unique and vibey drop. It has, the contrast in verses and chorus and, the flow. It has the vocals. My word, Angelina's vocals are incredible. And the moment at the end with it just crescendos so perfectly at the end as well with that fighting, I call them fighting vocals, like that La Noia, powerful, like that bit at the end of an X Factor performance where you're like, I want to win. This is me. I'm going to win now. This is fantastic. This will go, for me, this is almost like a natural successor to Soldi. I know there's been a few songs in between, but it gives me that vibe of like, we're sending something unique and something more mainstream pop compared to the ballads everyone expects from us. And I'm so relieved. I mean, no disrespect to Joliet when I say this. Thank God this won. I'm a bit. We won't go into the details there because at the end of the day, we discussed the slight controversy with Joliet in much detail with the Sanremo live. So if you want to more thoughts on that, go to there. But there was more dubious, I think, circumstances with how he was getting the votes, especially compared to the radio and press jury results. But when it comes to this, this is perfect. It's absolutely fantastic. I can't praise a song more if I tried. I can't listen to a song more if I tried. It's amazing. And it's getting the love it deserves. And yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm just over the moon. I haven't, as much as West Ham were awful, my football team yesterday, I still haven't come down from the high of this winning. It's absolutely fantastic. Going on to the actual contest itself, Italy obviously already in the final. They don't need to worry about, semi-finals. Not that this would need to, but when it comes to the actual contest, at the end of the day, you did win a couple years ago. You have also got a consistent level of top 10 since 2016. Where do
And a
you
consistent
see
level of top 6 from 2020, 2019?
2018, I believe. You came fifth.
18.
Yeah, you had
And
you were two.
17. No, 17.
Oh God, I'm amazed you do not know that off the top of your head, Samuele. That
Yeah,
seems
from,
like
from,
the
from
kind of
2000, from 2017, Italy never missed the top 6, if I remember
well,
correctly.
that streak, yes. So that streak since 2007. You had to put that in there as a
Yeah,
as a
of
slight
course,
brag.
I had.
But anyway, Angelina Mango, the latest. How will she get on in MALMÖ? Do you think?
I would be surprised if this would miss the top 5.
Yeah.
I would be completely surprised, not because it's my country, but because it's absolutely perfect for Eurovision. I see a good staging, as I was saying before, because of her manager. I see a lot of love for this song. I just in this last weekend, I just did nothing but staying on Twitter and on YouTube, watching reactions, hearing comments, and I think 90% of, even 95% of what I saw on the web was positive.
Oh, very positive.
Very positive. And yeah, I envision this in the top 5. I envision this in the top 5. Many people ask me if it could win. I don't know. Still, we miss a lot of songs, but this would be really high there. Counting on one side the Italo love, the love for Italy in Eurovision, because it's, of course, we cannot deny that there is constant love for Italy even with our weakest entries. There is the love. I think there is a really high appreciation of the Italian language in music. And yeah, she's a force of nature. She's 22. She will be engaged. I think that she will be engaged pretty much in the pre-parties and the pre-season.
Oh, please be at the pre-parties. I
think she might go because she doesn't have a tour until October of this year, and she has a smaller, really small tour in, I think, April, but really small.
Okay.
So I think that she can be able to do some pre-parties. I mean, she will be engaged in Eurovision week. I think that she will be a really good representative. As soon as the Eurovision Song Contest posted their content online on Instagram or on Twitter, on YouTube, she was the first one in actually posting them on her own social media. She was asked quite a few times by the Italian press, and it's something that we don't really do usually, because SANREMO, as we were saying before, is not a national final, so there is not such a great interest in Eurovision right after SANREMO. Right after SANREMO, we want to just praise the winner.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was quite a lot of interest from the press regarding her participation in SANREMO. She said in Eurovision, she said that right after the win, she could not believe even that she was going to Eurovision, because she didn't think she was gonna win SANREMO, because winning SANREMO is such a big deal and it's really difficult, mostly if you're a woman. So she was not even thinking about Eurovision, and when the press hit her with really big question, you are going to Eurovision, what are you feeling, what are your expectations, she was like, I cannot believe this, I'm going to Eurovision, of course I'm going. And she showed a lot of love and appreciation for the contest, and she was really happy. So I'm expecting a really good representative out of there. Nonetheless, even if we don't achieve a really good spot, something that I don't believe, we are going to be represented really well.
Oh, 100%. She seems like a very a very good Eurovision act in terms of like the personality.
Yes, I don't know
I
about
would
her
say
level. I don't know about her level of English in general, but I think that she's really young, so
that's a moot point. At the end of the day, if you can't speak English, that's.
But yeah, I
not
think
bad.
I never, because I never heard her properly speaking English, because she was just she was born as an artist just last year. So
But she was just born last year.
as an artist, she was
Yeah,
born
yeah,
last
yeah.
year. It's incredible. She had the shortest career between the acts that we saw on stage, apart from the ones that arrived from Sanremo Giovani, from the newcomer section. She was the youngest one. She's actually the youngest one participating in Sanremo this year, but also she had a really short career. I think maximum 1 year and 4 months, because she entered Amici, and is the talent show from which she got pretty much the she got second, and she won the singing category, because Amici has singing and dancing, just in before this last year summer. So she entered in Amici in November, when the show was already started. She actually ended in May, if I remember correctly, last year, because Amici ends pretty much around the Eurovision. So just 1 year that she is with us and with the audience, and she won Sanremo. So
At Sanremo and now at Eurovision, I would say for my personal predictions, if this doesn't come top 5, something's gone wrong. Top 5 is minimum for me. Minimum. I will answer the question about could this win. Absolutely, this could win. This could easily win. I got winner vibes like as soon as I heard this. I was like, this is special. Angelina Mango for me. Look, Italy obviously does incredibly well at Eurovision, and they have some iconic Italian Eurovision artists from recent years. You get Maneskin, you get Marco Magnoni, I think has entered that. You get Mahmood. There are some iconic entries. For me, and I mean no disrespect to the other 3 women that have also taken part for Italy in recent years, Angelina Mango will become the first iconic Italian Eurovision act for me. Emma, Francesca, and Nina are all great, but I don't think they are of the top echelon of Italy entries. Angelina Mango will be there. She has to be there. For me, I don't even think you need to do much with the staging. She is the staging. She is fantastic. Add some stuff. Add some little bits of lighting and stuff. Like, elevate it a little bit. But don't worry too much.
I think that since from what we saw, the Eurovision stage this year, at least the platform, the X platform on which the proper stage area this year is quite big. So I don't know. I think that maybe we could. I don't know about like Italy with props. Is like even they're perfect. For example, a trampoline from last year. For me, it was amazing. But with it's either amazing or it's just horrible. So,
I would say the one prop. If you don't want to do any props, absolutely fine. The one prop. If you want to do one, I would say the one prop I want. Start her with that crazy hair from the music video, and then and then come out, and then just fill the stage with energy. That's the only thing that if you do just that, that's absolutely fine. But I feel like
they have something in mind already, and I would not be surprised by seeing dancers.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I feel like we've discussed Italy enough. We can't discuss. To be fair, we can never discuss Italy enough with you, Samuele.
Yes.
But of course, Italy, as we already mentioned, we do like to end this by saying, "Oh, what semi-final are they in? What half?" We don't have to do that with Italy. They are already in the grand final.
And now it's time for. Okay, we gotta go. 30 seconds.
And now we come to another edition of OK, Gotta Go 30 Seconds. As always, inspired by our golden boy from 2015. And our guest at the moment is already excited by looking at his reaction. So, he clearly knows what's about to happen. So, but for those who don't, and just a quick refresher for Samuele, I have a list of the last 15 years of Eurovision. So, 2009 to current day. They are in a random order. Samuele, you will pick a number between 1 and 15, and then you will have 30 seconds to name as many entries from that year as possible. You have a few lifelines. So the first one is year restart. If you are completely stuck on the year, say another number, and then I will give you a new year. Winner check, if you would like to know who won that year, what country won the year that you are doing. ask me and I will tell you. I will only give you the country. I won't give you artist or song title. Just to clarify, you only need to give me the song title for your answers. Don't have to give me an artist. And then the final one is a variant on year restarts. So this variant is called recency biased. If you would like to use this variant, say the phrase recency biased and then give me a number between 1 and 5, and then you will get one of the last 5 years of Eurovision. So 2019 onwards. The downside to using this variant is your points will be halved for any that you get using this. There is also Mamma mia, indeed. There is a bonus point option as well. So, Samuele, you can name these in any order you like. That's absolutely fine. However, if you could name me at least the first 5 songs from that year, from first, second, third onwards, then your points will be doubled. So the example I always give is if you can name me numbers 1 through 7, then you will get 14 points. However, after 5, you can name as many entries as you like in a random order. So you can go numbers 1 through 7, and then the 31st song, then you will get 15 points. You will still get the doubled points. Couple things with that is you can only use that for 1 year. So you can't do that for 1 year, then use year restart and then do the double for that. If you're able to do it for 2 years, for example. And then also if you pick the year 2020, sorry, you can't do the bonus point option. So, Sam, and then the only other thing that I suppose you do need to know is your time will start when you hear a year, and your time will end when you hear the following.
Okay, hit the end.
So, Samuele, you obviously didn't do the first variant on OK, Gotta Go 30 Seconds. This is your first time on this game. How are you feeling?
Really bad. I'm really scared.
So, well, let's see what you are up against, Samuele, because so far 6 people have taken part in this game, and they've all got unique scores. So in last place with 4 points, it is Chris. In 5th place with 5, it is Jess. In 4th place with 6, it is Tommy. In 3rd place with 7, it's Twan. In 2nd place with 8, it is Dylan. And out in 1st with 12, it is Yana. So to avoid large, get at least 4, and to go for the win, you need to beat 12. Which one are you aiming for? Not higher than 4? Is that
no? I would aim like middle.
Middle. You want middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, if for example, if I do recency bias, I pretty much know not all, but I could do 30. Maybe 30 seconds. No, I could not. So no.
You could.
No.
Are you just going to hope for one of the first 5 years from the off? I will warn you. I think only one person has got one of the first 5 years so far. So it's not been lucky. So, but let's see if that is the case for you. So, Samuele, can you pick a number between 1 and 15, please?
So Angelina yesterday had code 3.
Code 3?
Go 3.
You want number 3. Okay. I'm getting that list of entries up now. So, Samuele, you will have 30 seconds to name as many entries from 2009. Go.
Year restart.
What? Name another number.
14.
14. 2019. Go.
Soldi, arcade, Soldi arcade, and then what? Madame Monsieur. No, I don't remember. Spain was Manuel Navarro. No, Miguel Lavenda.
Okay, hit the end.
And your time is up.
Yes, I'm live. Yes.
I mean, I would argue you did get your wish. You did get one of the last 5 years.
I was super bad. Like I could not even remember the names, and I know 2019 was one of my favorite years. Come on.
I would say you say you know 2019. Your Madame Monsieur entry was from 2018. So even if you got the title of Mercy, it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, 2019 it was Roi.
Yes, Voix. Yes. If the game was called OK, Gotta Go a Minute, you would have got another point there. But sadly, that is not the game.
Yeah,
I knew the second it came up was 2009. I was like, I'm going to stay near the top here. You're going to use year restart immediately. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. with a grand total, you say it yourself, with a grand total of 3, you are now in 7th and last place
Yes.
in the run. Literally, literally 2nd through 7th, it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 in the points.
I got. It was really funny, but
yeah, you got the top 2 and Spain. Well done. You
well
got-
done. No,
And
because
for those,
if I do it now with just no time, I could give you. I think I could give you the top 5 at least. No.
go on then. Why not? See
Oh
if
my
we can
mom.
do it.
Okay, so it was.
Because I was about to reveal it for those playing along at home.
No,
if
I
you can
want
do
to
it now.
try. I want to try.
Yeah,
but
go
I
for
need
it.
time because I as I told you before, I'm a visual learner, so I don't remember pretty much the names of any songs. And I would try. So it was Arcade, Soldi. It was Netherlands, Italy in 2019. Don't tell me. I want to know. I want to remember.
I mean, I will tell you at some point, but I'll give you a chance.
Yes.
first.
No. I want to remember. I want to remember for sure. Which year was it? It was 2019. Why I cannot do it right now? No, tell me. I cannot
Okay, so
remember.
in 3rd place was Scream, Russia's entry. In 4th
Oh.
place, in 4th place was She Got Me from Switzerland, and in 5th place was Too Late for Love with Sweden. So that is the top 5. If you were playing along at home,
But please, John Ludwig, come on! It was iconic against Arcade.
well, anyway, that is enough, and that concludes another edition of OK Gotta Go 30 Seconds. And now we go on to our next entry for Eurovision 2024. That was revealed on Saturday, and we turn to the Nordics and Finland. UMK concluded on Saturday, and we have the winner of Windows 95 Man with the song No Rules. So that was Windows 95 Man with the song No Rules, Finland's entry for Eurovision 2024. Windows 95 Man is from Espoo in Finland. This is actually his debut solo single, and he actually won UMK despite coming last with the jury vote. Something that I'm sure not just in UMK, but national final history is a first, or at least it hasn't happened in ages. We'll probably get on to that discussion point and the not diaspora, but the percentage difference between televote and jury. So, Samuele, I think it's safe to say that while Angelina Mango has gone down quite a treat of her winning, Windows 95 Man has been a bit more polarizing when it comes to his victory. What are your thoughts on this? Not only winning, but also following up from Karia Cha-Cha-Cha, one of the most iconic entries Finland has ever sent to Eurovision.
I think that the televote has too much power in Finland. In general, yeah, it was not my favorite at all. I saw the live performance and it was not bad. It was quite spectacular for me. But yes, Finland had a really good selection even this year, even if it was not the best like last year. But it had really good selection. And I am really heartbroken. Perfect. Heartbroken that Paskana didn't win. It was amazing. I had that song in loop, like when.
No, that's Malta. No, it was funny. Admit it. Come on.
Of course.
Okay, never mind. Carry on with Finland.
It was funny actually. So no, yeah, I had that song in loop for so many weeks after it got released. Actually, just before the songs from SANREMO were released. Actually, so I'm really heartbroken. Paskana's performance, like Sara's performance, was amazing. I would say, really good staging, really impressive staging. And yeah, Finland has too much power. In UMK, sadly, I think, has too much power in the televote. I discussed this regarding SANREMO, that even for me, SANREMO is too much televote. I would reduce it.
Thankfully, not too much based on results. Thankfully, not too much.
Thankfully.
I feel like between Finland and Italy, even though one of the results was what the most of the fandom wanted, this has not been a good weekend for pro televote people that want 100% televote in Eurovision. I think when it comes to this entry, so yeah, it's definitely a polarizing one. This has not gone down well at all amongst the fandom. I don't think it's just because people wanted Pascana to win. I was one of those people as well, to be fair. I'm gutted that she's not going to Eurovision. But I think also I don't think people are feeling this song. I feel like people are maybe thinking it's more trying to ride the success of Kalia Cha Cha Cha, which I do sort of get. I think for me, I do not hate this as much as other people online do. But what I will say is when I watch this, it feels more like a comedy show than a music performance. And that might work for some, but it's an issue. Look, this is entertaining. There's no denying that. Windows 95 man is a very charismatic person. The sparklers on his pants did get me at the end, or his like very short shorts. But
no, I just wanted to tell you that I actually think pretty much as you. But if we had to go after something that was slightly similar to Karia last year, I would have gone with Vox Populi, for example.
I wouldn't have personally. Personally, Vox Populi, at least with no rules, as much as people will prefer Vox Populi, at least with no rules, there is that familiar formula which a casual Eurovision fan can connect with. I think Vox Populi lacks a bit of fun for me personally.
Yeah, but it was a good. I think, for example, I think Vox Populi in my top would have been third, whereas Windows 95 man would be last. So
interesting. So if Windows Vox Populi would have been my last personally. I didn't. So it varies, but I think that going on to that sort of Karia style, one thing that this could be concerning, and I mentioned this in the UMK live that I did on Saturday, this could set a bad precipice for UMK. Let's see how this gets on in Eurovision. We will come on to predictions in a sec. Let's see how this gets on. But if the precipice of UMK is, especially with this current system, let's send something wacky and you'll win, that's a bad precipice because especially with the current system, it does beg the question, will we ever get a Pascana-style song from Finland? At the end of the day, winning the jury and getting 200 plus points in the televote still has not got her into Eurovision. Because
the problem with Finland is that they could be as much as... They could be superior to Melodifestivalen in quality.
Yeah.
They absolutely, Finnish pop music industry is amazing. I think that is at the same level of the Swedish pop music industry. So it's just quite underwhelming that you have, because in the end, Pascana was second, in the televote, if I remember correctly.
She was second in the televote, yes.
In the televote. She was second in the televote and first in juries. And in the end, she was surpassed by the last one in the jury.
Yeah. I believe we were discussing on the live that no rules to beat Pascana's jury overall score, only had to get 1 point from the televote, which was always going to happen. Look, I will say, we are talking about the televote jury dynamic here. This is the first time where this has played a factor. All the other results would not have been affected by this. Even Axel, if they had this in 2019. The jury and the televote winner have been the same in the last 3 years since they've had the system. This is the first time it's changed. That being said, this is the most extreme example of why the jury does not matter at UMK, because it came last and won the whole thing. There does feel something fundamentally wrong about that. But that being said, onto the actual Eurovision itself, regardless of your own personal thoughts. Unlike Italy, we do have to discuss semi-finals with this one. So, first of all, do you think this will qualify? And if so, where do you see this finishing in the final if you think this will go further?
I think this would have such a great appeal with televote, if I have to be frank. Yeah. I see something in line with Croatia 2023. maybe not as a style, as music style.
I was going to say,
Completely
me
different.
personally, as everyone that knows my thoughts on Let Free, I do prefer this more to Mamashko.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Me too. But I would say some televoting pattern really similar to that entry, because I think it appeals to quite similar audience.
I can see that.
I think that in a of course we know that the semifinals are all televotes, and I would like just to be silent on this, because you
That's a discussion point for another time.
Yeah, exactly. You might imagine what I think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have to preoccupy about semifinals for my country, so it's okay.
Amen.
Yeah, you too.
What are semifinals?
Yes, we're not semifinals, boys. But yeah, I have to say that this would probably qualify with 100% televote semifinal, and in the final, the juries will pretty much hate on this.
Yes.
I see this receiving maybe some points from Sweden, Norway, like the countries that are near.
You say that, Samuele. Sweden didn't give this any points in UMK. The Swedish jury.
Like maybe the jury is different. I don't know.
I know.
I really don't know. Hypothetically speaking, this entry would flop really much with juries. I don't see any kind of really professional jury ranking in that higher than at least 20th, or 18th, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know. I think that in the final we are gonna see this probably. In my taste say bottom 5, but probably will be a little bit more like around 16, 15 because of the televote.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's televote only, which has its own issues. This is qualifying into the final. This has memorability at the end of the day. When it comes to the actual final itself, I'm very much of a similar line to you. Juries will hate this. I don't think they will vote for this. Which will almost guaranteed bottom 5 with the jury. That being said, when it comes to the televote, this isn't a slam home run with the televote, because at the end of the day we are going to have a few songs that are also televote favorites. I think Italy will get more televotes than this. I believe that Ukraine will get more televotes than this. I believe that Estonia, if they pick correctly, will get more televotes than this. There will be more televote friendly songs, and there will also just be songs that are just generally better and will get televotes that way. So it's not gonna win the televote again. It's not gonna get 400 points like Harry. No, he didn't get 400, 300, whatever it was. That being said, I like the Let Free comparison, because I personally have this around the 13th, 15th mark, because I can see this getting top 10 with the televote. And then, finishing around that crowded 13th to 15th mark. I feel like that would be enough to justify the position, but then I don't know. I feel like if this gets another Rasmus result, then like around the 22nd, and this does flop with both, then I think Finland might go, okay, we can't just send wacky every year. We like similar with they did with the Rasmus and Blind Channel. They sent rock one year and then decided, let's do it again. Okay, it doesn't work every year. Let's scale back, try something else. That could be what happens. So that's our thoughts on Finland. Finland are in the second half of semi-final 1. So now we come on to our final entry for this evening, and the final country to select their entry on Saturday was Latvia, who are going to be represented by Dons with the song Hollow. So that was Dons with Hollow, Latvia's entry for Eurovision 2024 in MALMÖ. Dons is from Rossini in the Latvian SSR, and he has actually previously attempted to represent Latvia in both 2010 and 2014. I can understand why he failed on both times. Such iconic entries for Latvia took part that year, such as What For and Cake to Bake. He must have not had great songs. I don't know how he did not win those years, but I digress. So I think it's safe to say that when the songs were announced for Supernova and all the way through, Dons was the favourite to win amongst the odds and amongst the overall general fandom. This was not a surprising winner. That being said, Samuele, do you feel it was not surprising because of the quality of the song? In other words, do you like this?
No, I think that in general it was the clear favorite. Also in Latvia,
Yeah.
not just in the Eurovision bubble, not just between the
Isn't it
Eurovision
nice
fans.
to get? Isn't it nice to just get an entry which is universally liked amongst
Accepted,
juries,
yes,
televotes,
exactly.
and even in the country? That's very rare
Yeah,
nowadays.
it's what happened yesterday. Yeah, yesterday it was happened last year with Marco in Italy. Everybody was okay.
Yeah,
Televo, the jury, everybody. So it's I think that sometimes we should have national finals with no drama at all. So it's good to have them. And of course, the
thank you,
song is
Latvia.
beautiful. The song is beautiful. I love ballads, and this is a really well crafted power ballad that opens in the second portion of the song. The last chorus is amazing. The video clip of this entry is really interesting.
Yeah,
I really like it. I might be skewed because I really like well crafted ballads, as you do. But yeah, it's a really beautiful ballad with really beautiful lyrics as well. And yeah, I don't. Well, we are going to talk about placement
we'll
next.
come on to predictions. Yeah, we'll come on to
Yes.
predictions. So when it comes to my thoughts on this, for me, this is the best song Latvia has sent since 2016. This is high quality stuff for me, and I do thoroughly enjoy this. The performance itself. Actually, let's come on to a bit more of the song because it gives me almost like Rag and Bone Man vibes. This is the kind of thing that I
Mm,
would actually expect to hear on UK radio. This has got that anthemic, bordering on preachy but not quite preachy, serious message, very charismatic performer. I love the visuals in the music video. My only complaint is I would like a third chorus. I know they can't fit it in because of 3 minutes, but I feel like a third chorus really to really put that oomph in, like the final 30 seconds of Italy do. Really go for it at the end. It almost has it in the second, but this misses something slightly at the end. That being said, I still love it. The staging in Supernova was not terrible. The vocals were fantastic. Dons can sing live. We don't have to worry about that for a second. I feel like the staging could do with more. What I want to see in the staging in Malmö, because I want this elevated, and I think Latvia can do it. I want to see more of those visuals in the music video. If you
exactly.
if you have to get
Exactly.
5 bald guys that look like Dons in there again, some artistic interpretive dance movement I think works
Do you
quite
know?
nicely for this.
Do you know what I would like to see for dance in Eurovision? Something similar to what Diodato did on Eurovision stage in 2022
I love that idea.
uh, when he was guest. Of course,
Yeah,
Diodato did not have like the 5 people rule, so he had a lot of dancers. But I completely see here having 4 dancers that take him and just put it up in the air. The visuals of the video are perfect
yeah.
for maybe of course like I don't know about the budget that
I think
Latvia has
Latvia could
for
afford.
Eurovision.
I think Latvia could afford it. I
Yeah,
think they could afford.
I know. I'm envisioning this. If I would be the one creating a staging for Latvia this year, I would have a slightly not big, but a quite medium prop in the middle. Like for
Okay.
example, a platform or something like that. I
Yeah.
would envision something like that portion of the video in which everybody, all the dancers and him, are laying down on the floor. So maybe they could lay down on this kind of platform and then they raise up and take dance even higher. I could envision something like this. The colors would be blue, the sand color, like slightly brown. I could see this doing really well if the stage elevates the song, because these songs need staging elevation. It needs the
Yeah.
stage to elevate them, mostly in the semifinals because of the 100% televote. I really like the song. He knows how to sing live. Just the performance. They need to adjust a little bit the performance. And I would like Latvia, because this is actually, I think, the greatest possibility Latvia had in the last 8 years, as you were saying, from 2016.
Well, you mentioned
Because
that, Samuele. I was gonna say just now because we'll come on to predictions, I suppose now. So Latvia, I believe, have one of, if not the longest non-qualification streak in
yes,
Eurovision. I believe it's tied. So the last time they qualified was actually when it was in Sweden. So that's how long ago it was, 2016,
great two
with Heart.
songs, like great song,
Ah,
2015,
Heartbeat.
2016,
Heartbeat's
Latvia,
amazing.
Heartbeat, and Love Injected.
Peak
Love
Latvia.
Injected.
Peak Latvia.
Ah, you asked me before I know you asked me about last year, but in general, I think that Love Injected is in my top 3 of favorite Eurovision acts ever.
Oh, fair enough.
I love that song, and I would like Aminata to come back with something like that, because we saw her coming back in Supernova quite some years ago.
2022, yeah.
Yeah, but it was not amazing.
Fair enough.
It was the favorite. It was my favorite from Latvia.
Yeah.
In 2022, but Love
It wasn't quite
Injected is
enough.
like Love
Yeah.
Injected is like perfect. It would. I think that if Aminata went to perform this song, like compete now in Supernova, she would have won.
Yeah.
I think.
Anyway, but we digress. We love
let's
Aminata.
go with that.
So, as I mentioned, non-qualification sheet. You mentioned this is the best chance of them qualifying. If you had to
Yes.
put some money on the line now, are they getting back in that final this year?
Based on the songs that we have now, absolutely. Based on what I am expecting to see, I would say 70%.
70%. So for me, I'm in agreement with you. This is the best chance they have of qualifying since. I do maintain, I do think they would have qualified in 2020 had that contest gone ahead with Samantha Tina and Still Breathing. But this is the actual first time that they will be competing with a potential song. For me, this has everything going for it in terms of it will be in the slightly weaker semi-final on paper. This has some love amongst other fans. This I know you said it doesn't have much hype. It does have a little bit of hype compared to other Latvian entries. I do think this has. And at the end of the day, they were close last year. They were very close with a song that I think was solid in Sudden Light
Yeah.
Aya, but this is another level. If the staging can elevate and match the song and match the power, match the theme, this doesn't matter. It's a ballad. This can be enough.
No, because
I'm a bit like
in
you.
recent years we saw ballads qualifying from
Yeah.
100% televote, also in high positions. So when a ballad is well crafted, people like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like this has a chance. This is I'm hoping for Latvia to be back in that final because I feel on the song itself they do deserve it, but it's obviously not just the song; it's the staging. But that is our thoughts on Latvia. As I said, Latvia are potentially in the easiest semi-final going forward. They are in the second half of semi-final 2. So that will do it for another episode of the Eurovoxx podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up next week, we are potentially doubling the amount of songs we are going to be talking about because it is a busy Super Saturday. We have, Super Weekend, because one of these is on Friday. We have Estonia, we have Germany, we have Lithuania, we have Denmark, we have Moldova, and potentially, depending on when it's released on the 20th, we might be talking about Belgium as well in that episode. But that is all next week. Samuele, thank you so much for being an amazing guest. Get some rest after SANREMO weekend now, please, for the sake of all of us. Make sure to all follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a like on this video, and I've already said subscribe. Make the news website your home for all Eurovision news, the Eurovoxx website, that is. And of course, in my very, very biased opinion, go to the Spotify account. Listen to this episode if you want on there or on YouTube, of course. We're available on both. But leave a like and follow on Spotify. And also leave a review. This does help expand the podcast over there. All that's left for me to say is hope you enjoyed this episode. And we will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Ciao.